Yo, yo, yo. We're back. Back in the hizzy, dude.
It's been a minute.
The mix.
The mix. Back in the mix down. What's that called again? Multi-track mix down?
Multi-track mix down.
We're in that right now
Yeah.
in 2021.
Yeah. So
We made it.
we made it.
Woohoo! Everybody that's listening to this podcast, congratulations.
The world did
You've
not
won
end.
nothing. 2021.
Yeah.
We've won taxes for 2020.
Oh, man. Don't bring that up, man. That's messed up.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back. Oh, Alex, go ahead. Sorry.
welcome back to On the Reel.
Wow, that was super depressing. Jesus.
Well, I got stepped on that one. So
I didn't step on it.
You can do it.
I don't want to do it.
Brandon?
I don't have anything in front of me.
It's been way too fucking long since we did a podcast.
Yeah, we got to get warmed up here.
For real.
Yeah.
Just give us a second, guys. How many seconds? Oh, we're a minute in. Yeah, just
my
give us
first
a few
time.
more minutes.
Yeah. So welcome back to On the Reel, the no bullshit podcast from Reelbros Media
The
in
No Bullshit Podcast.
Phoenix, Arizona. Coming to you live. Not really.
From,
But from the Reelbros Media House.
yes,
Beers in hand.
in Tempe, Arizona.
Yeah. So
Why is there a Homeland Security bag on our desk?
I think that's from somebody's house.
Wait, seriously, what is that about?
I have no idea.
No, that wasn't a Land Rover.
Oh.
Why is there a Homeland Security bag?
I don't know.
That's
Yeah,
a better
that's great.
question.
Great.
Why is it
Yeah,
a Land Rover?
Yeah, I think
There's
that's
cards all in the fucking every single case we've ever flown with gets a TSA check card.
Yeah, true that.
No, true. But
Hi, we looked at
isn't
your shoe.
Homeland Security and TSA different?
Same thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's just another division.
I guess. I don't know.
Interesting.
Not a fucking expert.
Anyway, yes, we made it. Well, we're not. We kind of made it. We're still in COVID. That's kind of been the whole Debbie Downer of 2020. Don't want to talk about it anymore, but we've kind of survived through it slowly.
Yeah.
Actually, came out stronger. To be honest with you,
Kind of.
kind of.
Interesting year. Had a great start to the year
Mm-hmm.
and did record numbers. Did our first year of revenue in our first month, basically. And we're like, oh, 2020 is going to be awesome.
I know.
And then, boom, like
Oh.
6 months of just sheer terror and crying ourselves to sleep at night. Nothing.
There was a lot of that. Yeah.
There's a lot of crickets for a while, as was everyone.
And then a really cool project just like popped into the woodwork randomly with the Ford Mustang Mach-E project with
Yeah,
Vaughn Gittin.
I kind of think right then. How many months after they officially said we're locked down?
I think it was like 3.
3 months after.
Yeah, because lockdown started like right around my birthday in March.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I was in
And-
Texas for a month.
And then we
so-
did Mustang in June at
Yeah.
like the start or late June.
Our last thing
So
was
in the summer.
was the stuff with Phil. It
Yeah.
was barbecue.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it really
I actually
went
was going
downhill.
through my Google photos the other day and I saw the
really?
like some of the last photos, BTS photos I took before the quarantine happened.
Well, I would say when we did the Mach-E project, everything started to kind of slowly climb. A very slow creep, though, up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a
Right
snowball
after
effect
that,
going
it
right
was
there.
like kind of getting back to normal-ish
Well,
to
I
the
think-
degree
I think-
of workload.
Well, I think people found out that like there were ways to still do production with it and like kind of work safely around it. And then when LA closed down, Arizona got super busy.
Yeah.
Like we had so many agencies and other
Yeah,
production companies coming to shoot in our state.
Yep.
And then we hit the news media with we were the hot spot in the country
Yep.
and everything just dried.
God, I
Oh,
hated
that's
that.
right.
That sucked. We were
was-
on a high,
Yeah.
and then they said Governor Ducey came out and was like, we have the highest
Yeah.
COVID. Well, that was that was nationwide. That was on CNN, all this stuff.
Which
and
was a
everything.
shame though, because like living here and being in the state, it
crashed it.
It didn't seem that way.
It
Though.
didn't crash the state. It crashed us.
Like boots on the ground, it didn't appear to be
Right.
that bad, but it sent the message out, and like every ounce of work just dried up in the state.
Yeah, there was just no emails. We were getting like all kinds of calls, emails before that. And then
It was
Yep.
almost worse than when it first started.
it was worse than
Yeah.
when it first started. It was. And then it came back up. I don't know how many,
and then we
a month
slowly
after or something.
climbed back up.
It was
yeah.
weird. And then it got even busier towards the end.
Yeah, I think
And then it was a record month in December.
I think people just figured out how to spend their budgets,
Yes.
or they had to spend their budgets, and they figured out that they could still do productions. They just had to be a lot smaller team.
Well, you remember that article I sent you about the small team thing?
Yeah,
Yeah. Did we talk about that in our other COVID podcast?
think-
Probably. Yeah,
I think we did. But that
But I think
plays-
that helped. for sure.
That plays to a huge strength, I think.
Because we already were prepared for it in a way.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, oh, here's a budget and small, and I need small teams.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, we already do that.
Yeah.
Boom.
And then thankfully, around the end of the year, like October, November, December, we got slammed. And just booked. Like
completely.
Times where we were double booked too, which was super awesome to split the teams up. And we did like everything from more Peterbilt trucks to did some stuff with the Ford Broncos.
Yeah, that was sick.
More autonomous trucks, and then
Off-roading and Flagstaff.
Rounded off the end of the year doing a Mitsubishi spot.
Yep.
Like right before Christmas, like 2 days before Christmas.
Yeah, we were done on the 20th.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But yeah.
And then Christmas
It was
happened.
a wild ride.
Yeah, it was really busy. It was nice. It was nice to work with a bunch of, people too. I mean, that set was like, 45 people? Something like that.
Yeah, which it needed to be bigger.
It needed to be longer.
Sure,
No,
but
I don't know if it
gave
needed to
us
be
a
bigger. I think it
chance.
needed to be longer. If they don't, take one or the other, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
More people for less days and
Yeah. You potentially
people
even
for
out what you save,
Right.
though.
True.
Having less people if you're doing more days. So
I wonder if it is cheaper to have more people than it is more days. I think it's more people is cheaper than it is days.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I think days would be more expensive.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's just because we have like quite a few questions that people submitted on Instagram that we have to get to, but I just want to make like a segue to start to get into that conversation. What is something that we think we can go around the table to? Something or like one or two things that we wish we would have, looking back on 2020 now that it's over, we would have done differently, I guess.
Differently.
Yeah. Not like a positive, because that's one of the questions that somebody asked, but like something looking back on that we would have wanted to do differently. And I can go first if you guys want. Just
Yeah.
Get into it.
Sure. Go for it.
I think looking back on it, one with now that we're here doing the podcast again, I wish we would have found out a way to do remote podcasts.
I think we knew how to do it. We just didn't want it to sound like
Yeah,
crap.
the podcast was going to be one of my answers. Or that was one of the first things.
Well, we did the
I mean, our content fell off.
we
That'd
did
be
that
mine, but
the one podcast. It's skipping my mind right now, but that was over the phone, remote, and that worked out great. Sounded great. I think with us, our podcast is just we try and make it so personable with our guests, and like we'll spend like an hour or two beforehand just like having a beer and just like shooting stories back and forth together and kind of getting a lay of the land for like how the conversation is going to go.
that was hard to do.
And like that to me is super hard to do over like a Zoom call or a phone call.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And like also maintaining just the quality of the audio, because like everybody hates listening to a podcast where
I hate
like
that.
one party their audio is just absolute dog shit, and then
can't
the
stand
other
it.
is like wonderful studio recorded. I can't do that at all.
Me either. I wish there was a way to. I guess your user just has to, or your guest just has to know how to do
How to
that
record
kind
and-
of stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's hard because you can't like
It's like what we did with
can't control that.
Studio Sherpa. Like how we recorded.
Right. We recorded it and then sent it to him,
Well,
and
that's
then he
also-
didn't use it.
That's also what we did with.
Sounds like
right.
shit. Like, dude, we recorded that and sent it to you.
Oh, we
Whatever.
recorded it on our end for the
Didn't we do something else?
other one.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh shit! I just saw it on the computer. There's a podcast we just did.
No, that was like a few months ago. But,
I don't know. Time for me.
That was back in September. I'm trying to think of.
Yeah. Well, time has been a blur to me for 2020. Realistically.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I just wish we would have probably just figured out more, because
I
we
feel
had
like
a lot
it's
of
more
time.
hindsight things you could say rather than like
Yeah, no,
actual
yeah,
changes.
yeah, I guess.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like hindsight,
feel
like
like
what
We were focused on getting jobs and finding out how the hell we're gonna get out of
There
this.
wasn't a lot of regrets in 2020, in my opinion, other than just like, there was a lot of things out of your control.
I mean, we were shooting specs in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah, that was another.
I mean,
that was
but I
another
don't look
thing,
at
though.
that as like,
No, that's a
yeah,
negative. I thought that was positive. I wish we would have done more, to be
Exactly.
honest with you, because guess
Yeah.
what? That's how we got Ford Bronco, was going out and playing with Can-Ams.
Well,
But I
that,
think
And we got
did
Can-Am's
everything
attention.
with-
That's
most
two.
things we did within our means too.
Yeah, and
During
we
that
didn't
time,
spend
were
a lot of money.
uncertain what was going to happen.
that
Right.
that and like some of the skits though. Like
Yeah, we didn't
shot
do
more
skits.
spec work and
Yeah.
shot some of the skits that we come up with.
I mean, like
Yeah,
the
sure
COVID
that.
skit we did?
yeah, like just like small stuff like that. That's just
Yeah.
like brand awareness.
Yeah, we
brand
did fall
equity
off on our content.
type of stuff. We fell off. On
We
our
fell off a little
content.
bit.
and like we had nothing. There were times where we like
Cell phone
were trying
photos,
to get jobs,
ugh.
but we didn't have anything to do.
Yeah.
So it's like we could have just probably gone out and shot something
some stuff.
funny, or like when all the shit that we like spitball in the car on road
Yeah.
trips and stuff. Just like pick out a few of those that would have cost a lot of money to actually
Right.
like produce,
Right.
and just gone out and shot those. But
Well, in our 2021 meeting, that was one of our things. We were going to kick it back up. So content's coming back up, boys and girls.
yeah, definitely.
Back it up. Back it up. Jesus.
But yeah. Anything else that like?
I mean,
it was a fucking hard year.
No,
I'll say
that was shitty.
Yeah.
It was shitty. It was super shitty.
I mean,
and we're still dealing with it. We
and
just
we,
finished the camera car build or a motor crane build for tomorrow's shoot, and we had to build, the plexiglass inside for this. That's the first client that asked for that. Everyone else is like, oh, you can get COVID tests or just wear a mask. So it's been interesting to kind of
Turn your
what's been
car into
pissing
a
me off is the
7-Eleven.
amount of money that's been going to COVID. That's what's been pissing me off.
yeah.
Finding out that our last project that we did, a third of that cost of that, a third of that budget went to COVID related stuff is like, oh my, you're cutting into my cost now at this point. It's
Well,
like,
yeah,
shit.
and the most unfortunate part about that is it's not like
they don't even do anything when you get there.
It's not like they add that cost onto the top of the project budget.
No.
They subtract that cost
Correct.
from the project budget. So then everybody that's crewing it
You're like,
is
what the
getting like beat up on like.
And they're like,
well,
well,
what's
pay
your
for your
price?
tests. We're like, I don't give,
Like, what's
No.
your price? And they like beat up your price to make room for the
Right.
the
The
COVID
adjustment.
measures instead of putting them on top. It's
Right.
not like a tax for wanting to run a production during COVID.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
taxing the crew and the people that are facilitating
Yeah,
the
it's
production.
horrible.
So
But there's just other stuff on site too. You got to pay for hours.
That
And,
COVID test sucks too.
and you got to pay for cleaning the hotels.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Yeah, the COVID test sucks.
we haven't had to do it nearly as much as some
As
people
most
I've seen.
people. I can't complain.
I follow some people on Instagram in LA that
They're like,
take
I got
that,
my
like,
53rd
twice a
one.
week.
I don't like my
Yeah,
dad's
that
gonna
one
do
chick
that.
that's like always bragging about how many COVID tests she gets.
Yes.
It's like, why are you bragging about how many COVID tests you get?
It's a little bit cringe.
Well, LA is ridiculous. Oh, I just heard they're not running ambulances right now. They
At
can't.
all?
No, they can't because the morgues, everything, they're all full. So they're not even running.
Wow.
They can't get them anywhere. That's how crazy it is.
Whoa.
It's still crazy now, which sucks.
Damn.
It's like, it's almost like, oh, it's kind of over, but it's not over. It's just, we just adapted to it and we're just, you're just running with it now.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's really going to be awesome when it clicks and it all ends and you're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
everything's a lot easier now.
Dude,
In a way.
I think a lot of people, agencies and production houses are going to see that they got away with a lot of quality work with smaller teams though. That's
I
gonna stay
agree
for a while.
which is why like the companies that have massive commercial buildings out here are going to be empty because they realize they're saving a lot of money. But
Yeah.
like, that's a good point because I think I feel like COVID slowed everyone down to a degree where like Zoom calls for production meetings and creative slowed the process down, which gave the creatives more time to think about the project. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think some
So like it
creative
gave them
got
more
better.
more breathing room.
Some creative got better. It's like anything though. But
Yeah, I
like
guess.
when you put limitations on creativity though, like some creative got better in advertising and TV and whatnot. And then others just totally missed the mark. Like,
Right.
just terrible. Could not put together decent projects, decent scripts because they're all working like non-collaboratively, like through Zoom.
Right.
So it's like some people just totally like the domino video that we talked about where they like the dominoes all hit each other or the mousetraps all hit each other and that was the
Oh,
spider
yeah,
code. Like that's a great piece that
That is good.
came out during COVID.
Yeah, that's right.
But then there was a lot of commercials that just use stock footage with text overlays and it's like you're not really
Yeah,
being
right off the
creative.
beginning. Yeah, it was
Right.
weird. It was like PowerPoint stuff.
I still see it. I saw a commercial last night that was like that and I was like
Really?
this is not being creative because a lot of agencies are still kind of hindering.
Well, their buildings are empty, aren't they?
Yeah. A
Yeah.
lot of people
Oh,
are
you
not
know,
in
still
the
at
office.
home.
Which
Which
is
I
why-
don't think it helps creative at all.
No, it has
Like
to be collaborative and like in the same environment.
Right.
And long hours. Long.
What I
late
said about the
hours.
breathing room is like it just takes longer for them to make meetings and stuff because you have to like schedule a Zoom call and stuff. When in the office, they're like always on it, and then Zoom calls and whatever kind of delayed that. So maybe the creatives had a little more time to fuss
Hash
with
out
the
any-
stuff. Yeah,
Hash out any issues.
yeah,
Well, and everything's so fluid too that like a lot of clients are, especially some of our clients this year, are waiting to see how fluid the situation gets to make decisions on production schedules. Because like you don't want to schedule something and then have an outbreak somewhere or
Right.
shut down somewhere and then like you've lost your schedule.
Well, because
in your
technically
days.
Arizona's high again.
Yeah,
I just saw. I'm like, fucking hell.
I don't know.
Anyway, I'm done talking about COVID. Fuck COVID.
So I guess let's
Goddamn China
segue
virus.
into the one of our first questions. And this one comes from Making Banker on Instagram, and it's while adapting this year as a business, what is something, or have you learned anything while adapting this year as a business?
Can you
that you'll
read?
take to 2021?
I'm just kidding.
Have you
Do that again.
have you learned anything?
Yes.
While adapting this year as a business that you will take with you until 2021? or like into the next year?
It's actually a good question. I feel like there's a ton of stuff you could talk about. I don't know.
I feel like adapting in general, it's something that challenges
You always have to
COVID
do.
and like what happened to the business and the industry itself. It wasn't just our business; it was everyone's business. in the
Everybody
industry.
had to adapt.
Yeah.
So
If
it's
you did
kinda
it, you
like,
dropped.
who's gonna be able to adapt in a situation? What are we gonna do? And for us, it was the spec work, kind of filling in those gaps when we had it,
Yeah.
and reinvesting in ourselves.
Yeah.
I think in a scary time like that, for us to reinvest in ourselves and double down, that's kind of like, you know,
Well, when we
believe
did-
in ourselves,
right?
And I think,
And other people
has-
saw that too. Like we kept moving through
Yeah.
that stuff, and I feel like people wanted
Kept
to work
trying to
with
stay
us.
busy. Yeah.
Right.
A lot of people hit us up to work with us, or we're like, wow, you guys are working a lot
Right,
now.
but we're just doing that on our time to get through this, but actually create content that we can market.
yeah.
I think communications
Yeah.
probably the one thing that's gonna, always fly over and always try to get better. But that was the one thing that like, if we
Well, no,
didn't
this is-
communicate
this is-
during
this is
COVID, we would have been
what-
screwed.
Yeah.
Like we were always trying to figure out what do we do next? What can we do? What can we
Yeah.
change? What do we want to do? Maybe this is a time to shift directions in, our model maybe a little bit, or
Yeah.
hone in on a couple of things. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it rehashed the importance or strategic advantage of being a small, fluid, or a multi-tool like team.
Right.
Because like even the last few projects that we were working on, people were like, so like you're gonna do this, and that, and like they were super worried, and then you actually like
Yeah.
work with them, and they're like, holy shit,
Oh,
this
shit,
is
this is
amazing.
awesome.
Like
Yeah.
this is great. We can still do the same high value production and results with a much
more
more
efficient
skilled,
workflow.
efficient workflow.
Right.
And I think that's going into 2021, especially with COVID still being a thing that's in the front of our minds, is that's a clear advantage and a skill set that like it just rehashed the importance of always being able to adapt and just know a lot about everything.
Sure.
So you can be a smaller team and
Yeah. Definitely.
make it still happen. I don't know. That, and also like diversify the fuck out of everything you do,
Diversify everything. Yeah.
which is also like multi-tool thing though.
right. It is.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of people that were just
I wanted to work with new people too at the same time.
yeah.
I think that was an interesting, like, I don't know. Like we haven't worked with Thomas, like the time we went up to Canada and stuff, and then some
Yeah.
people came up.
Yeah, no, it was
I want to do more of that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to do
and
more of
it made it hard to do that.
yeah, it did.
But it also when we were
Scheduling.
able to do it, we met a lot of cool, interesting people.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so I guess since we're talking about working with other people and how much we like that, like with Thomas and whatnot, this next question kind of fits into that one. It's give us your collab tips when working with other directors, DPs, and production companies.
Ooh, this is a good one.
Yeah,
We do this a lot. We have to, obviously, but the collab tips, like, I don't know, for instance, the camera car, the motor crane, like collabing with them. Or actually, we had two different variations of it. We had, from Mitsubishi being on the ground, full production team on that
Yeah.
side of it. So like, key grip, AC, ops, like stuff like that. Communicating with them on that end, I feel like really came from communication in the car,
Yeah.
right? You know what a DP wants, you know what a director wants in the car. Kind of same thing when it gets out. Like
Yeah, from
that
my
communication
experiences, it's been the director and the DP are really, they respect what we're doing in the car and kind of how we operate,
Yeah.
and they trust that we're here as a specialist. We understand what we're doing.
right.
They've given us especially the DP. I'm open to shot ideas and stuff.
Right.
DP will rip out his shots,
Sure.
or her shots.
Sure.
But yeah, it's been a very collaborative.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good point because, like, the director, depending on who he is, sometimes those guys are assholes, honestly, and they're like, "You're doing what I'm telling you," and I don't. When you do that, I feel like you're limiting your team.
Yeah.
You're limiting the people around you, and limiting that other level of experience and knowledge on that side of it. So like he only knows some stuff, but I know maybe more than on that side than he does. It's like and then you're screwed. But it's the awesome stuff when you get on the call and they're like, "Oh, I'm really open. I'm collaborating.
Yeah.
I want to learn what you guys are doing and stuff like that and how you work." When a DP or director does that, like on Mitsubishi, they were very collaborative.
Very collaborative.
Like,
You can-
did not step on our
DP is
toes.
Super, yeah, like
Did not
I'm
step on
open
our
to
toes.
shots,
And
shot
they-
ideas.
And they got a
what
lot of
we
good
want.
stuff.
You can read the room on it from like
Yeah.
the early contact.
They'll just
to
tell
being
you,
on the
most
project.
likely.
Yeah, they'll tell you.
Yeah.
Because we've had both. We've had both experiences where it's
Totally.
been very collaborative, and then we've also had times where we've been totally shut out and shut down.
And we're
on
just
our professional opinion.
We're just the assembly line doing the
Yeah.
shot. Like
And-
I tell you exactly what it is.
Which I
and
hate.
one way turns out way better than the other, but I'll
100%.
leave that up to you guys to guess that one. But,
For sure.
but yeah, also, I in terms of like collaborating with people, like putting yourself out there on social media and like people that you want to work with or companies you want to work with, directors, DPs, shooting them a DM or like just liking their work and following and
Well,
commenting.
Can-Am,
that
for
does
example, like we love Can-Ams.
Yeah.
You know, outside of filmmaking, like we just love going and ripping those. And then we did a spec about those or around those. And then we just DM'd them like, hey, check this out. We just did this. And they're like totally stoked on it.
Well, and the ironic thing about that situation is their marketing department had actually had eyes on us for the last few months,
Which we didn't know. We didn't know that.
and they watched us do that entire like
on our stories and
down to
everything.
our
That's
stories
hilarious.
as we were shooting it, and they were super hyped to see what we came
Yeah.
up with. So
Yeah.
maybe in 2021 or the coming years here, we can do a
Work with them.
pretty sweet collab with Can-Am, and
I want to build a custom Can-Am.
that'd be sweet.
A custom one-off camera car Can-Am from Can-Am with Reelbros.
yeah,
And
be
do
lit.
just a,
Yeah.
you know, be
Of course,
sick.
that'd be so sick.
You do all kinds of shit in there, dude.
Yeah, but
Be
even like
decked out.
like on the Mitsubishi shoot that we just did,
Right.
like the camera car team that we worked
Yeah.
with on that one, they'd
Shift.
shifted, been
They were
following
awesome.
us for a while, and they're super awesome group of guys, and
Yep.
like we're so hyped to be working with the Reelbros.
Yeah, no,
like,
that was
we were
cool.
hyped to be working with them, and it's cool because you meet all these people that are cut from the same cloth as you,
Right.
and you all kind of have the same humor
Sure.
and mentality
Totally.
about it.
Well, we've all been following each other. We kind of
Yeah.
know our, each other's personalities to a degree and whatnot, and how our business works. And everyone follows each other. I mean, we're all pretty tight knit in this community, like what we're doing. You know, if you're on a certain level, like it is kind of funny. It is like high school. Like you had the groups of people, like, you've got film over there, and they've been doing it for 40 something years. They don't touch any conversations with us. And you have commercials. Like, it's just kind of funny how there's like
Yeah.
little groups, but when you're in that group, like everybody kind of knows each other.
Yeah.
It's a very small community in that
Yeah.
in that way. But so when you meet each other for the first time, you're actually working. It's actually sick. You're like, holy shit! Finally,
Yeah, it's
you
cool.
get to actually like see you, and then we're working, which is even more fun.
And
So
you gotta hype
Yeah.
each other up.
they were. That's the thing. They were
Also,
in
I
Nashville
think-
and they were coming down.
I think all
and-
this COVID stuff has made, a lot of creatives, DPs, directors like eager to create again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like reignited that passion. It kind of cut off maybe the automatic mode anybody was
Yeah,
in
that's true.
COVID.
The
It made
automation.
people rethink. And they're coming in, especially with quarantine, they're coming in all these fresh ideas that they've been locked away with,
Right.
and it's cool to see some of that
like a hard
finally
reset.
come to fruition with budgets coming around for this stuff and
Yeah.
our industry kind of figuring out how to operate around COVID.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, dude, another thing that was super surprising for me, at least, was like I would have expected, like with 2020 being so like stricken for work, you would have expected like a lot of the industry to be like, and I'm sure parts of it were, but very cutthroat and like, fuck those people, like working.
Right.
But like a lot of people that we follow and that follow us, like we were all just hyping each other up. Like,
We were.
oh, dude, it's so sick you're working like
Yeah, we
right
were.
now. Like, that's an awesome project to be on. Like,
Yep.
it was just like a big old hype train.
I think it
like,
was pretty
cool people.
positive.
It was super positive.
I didn't see a lot of negative stuff at all.
Yeah.
Which is actually really cool. Like people were working on it, like that's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Like I wish I was doing that, but that's good for you guys that are working.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. We did get a lot of that too.
Nice insight. Yeah.
I think it's a good good way to like balance out that you see that, and then you never really think about yourself at all, right? So when someone tells you that, you like kind of have to step back and like, oh yeah, actually, thanks, appreciate it.
Yeah, I think the year went by so slow but fast that we didn't with us since the first 3 years of doing this, like that we don't really realize like what we've worked on and like how
No.
cool and like the experiences and everything that we've done. We have to like
We're just
step
running.
away.
We keep sprinting and we're not looking
Yeah.
back. We're just going forward. So it's kind of hard to like stop and think about it.
Yeah,
The only time we do that is like when we're dead ass beat in the car, and then or we start talking about something, or we're sitting here in front of the computer and runing through projects.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's awesome.
I went back and watched
Yeah.
like a bunch of old
Yeah.
BTS the other day on YouTube, and I was like, damn.
Yeah, we got to do some more BTS for sure. It's coming back. Don't worry.
Yeah.
New content overload 2021. New gear, new stuff.
Yeah.
Get at ya.
I want
Get
to do
at
some
it.
special shit.
This is where we
for
need
the,
like something on the board.
I know.
dude.
Dun, 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 dun. No, what
Yeah.
is it? Bah, 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 bah. The DJ sound.
Yeah. That's
I should put that on there. Actually,
what I'm saying. I don't know
it's
why
super
the hell
easy
we
to
don't.
load stuff on here.
Shall we go into our?
Yeah. What's the next question?
Yeah, go for
question.
it. Go.
This one's a fucking interesting one. It's Daniel Tilletonson. I'm sorry if I totally butchered
Alex
that.
is butchering all these names.
This is a hard one. Your biggest mistake on a big production.
Shit. Okay, Colby's sitting over here, and Chance. We had a meeting, like on the 5th
have
or
an
something, and we were just going through 2021. I had a thing that was like positive and negatives, and it was majority negatives, but we didn't focus on the positives because focus on the negatives to fix our shit, right? And that was like the one thing that was like, what were we mad at the most? What pissed us off the most on set? What did, I think someone said it earlier, was like forgetting things. Fucking hate forgetting things. Going in to a production and you get there and you're missing a majority of the stuff that you need. Oh, that sucks. That sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, mistakes. I mean, that's a fucking mistake.
What was our biggest mistake?
The biggest one? I don't
on
know.
a big production though. Because we've talked about ones that are like other people's. I
mean, I have one from this last one on the Mitsubishi. Like for my position specifically as AC.
lay it on.
I think I already told some of you guys, but
Go for it then.
it was just like, the question was your biggest mistake on a big production. Like, we were pulling shots in the morning right before the sunrise came up, and DP's trying to chase light, and I didn't have any type of like AC monitor, and he went handheld after the crane shots. And yeah, I was trying to pull focus off his monitor, and he kind of ripped me in front of everybody, and I totally deserved it for sure. But yeah, it was kind of embarrassing.
Not to have a monitor.
Yeah,
Can't forget your
If you're-
monitors.
Yeah, if you're an AC, have a monitor.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's
One
that's good.
ready to go at all times.
Yeah. But I can't remember a big mistake.
I'm trying to think. I have one in my mind, but that's like my own mistake, but from a few years ago. But
Well, rip them. I was just open about it.
yeah, I'll just say mine. I'll just say mine. I'll get it off my fucking chest because this is one of those ones that you do it once and then you never fucking do it.
Oh,
again.
Jesus. What is this? I'm not prepared.
Everybody's
Florida, Leonard Skinner's last concert.
Oh, no, dude. This is
We were,
bad, dude. This
we
is a
were,
bad one. This is actually a good one. This is good.
Doing the cable cam
Yeah.
for Leonard Skinner's last concert.
With the Phi.
And we had a camera that we were very unfamiliar with. Me in particular. It's
Well,
the
what was it? FS5?
Declare
No,
some years here. Like this was like right when we became like.
Yeah, no, this was in the beginning. Yeah, this
Yeah.
was, it was, yeah, but I
This
mean,
was us
he
grinding
didn't say
through.
like in Reelbros. He just said kind of just in general, like
Yeah, in
biggest
general,
mistake,
biggest
I guess.
mistake,
I feel
yeah.
like.
But anyways,
I was assuming real bros. I guess.
anyways, so
Well,
I
I
have
mean, either way.
it was kind of real bros though. We're like trying to.
No, yeah, totally.
I have the FS7.
I thought it was FS5 though. It was a smaller camera, and we're like, "What the fuck is this?"
Oh
Yes.
yeah, it was.
It was. It was FS5. It was a newer
FS5
new
for
one.
that, and like
And we were flying it, doing sick shots.
I know Red and Canon and Arri very well, but the DPs they wanted RAW, so I set the camera to RAW, and then everything tested out, and we had a time code and record on the screen of the camera, and we recorded the show. This is Leonard Skinner's last concert, which actually ended up not being his last concert, ironically enough. But,
Yeah, that was strange.
but so we shoot the whole show. It looks cool. It's
great.
it's great. And then we look at the card, and there's
nothing
on the card.
when we finished the entire shoot.
Not a single
Not a
clip
damn
on
thing.
the card.
Not a fucking thing. Not even a megabits of a.
That's like something that
a
happens
mini
in
bit.
your worst nightmares.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, and specifically when you're there and it's technically his last concert and you fucked up the cable cam.
No, like quite literally. Like it's like literally you have like it's something you wake up from a sweat from.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
You're like, oh,
I think recording. That's why I don't like touching it.
So now,
I really don't like it.
DIT's like a super stressful.
I can't stand that shit.
yeah.
Anyway, that was
I've been on
fucked up.
sets where they had the PA be the DIT, and that's like scary. Dude.
So
Scary.
So it like
You're
can't
handing
st-
off like a lot of money.
Well, no, the dude that we were at the Ford Bronco stuff, he had a card up and the freaking, he was on a Jenny and he's backing all this stuff up on a Jenny, dude.
Oh
That Jenny
my
died, bro.
gosh.
It died and the computer just shut off.
well, it depends on what type of card you're using too.
I
like,
know,
the
but
state,
still,
but,
like,
But no, it's
I would have like 4 fucking Jennies hooked up to my bitch. If I got one fail, I got 3 others.
Yeah, for
that's
real.
that's one of those things though that you're just like, it happens to you once in your career,
And you never do it again.
and it'll never happen again. So I always test.
Knock on wood.
I always test record cards now on cameras and
Oh,
check footage
100%. 100%. Yeah, that was a pretty bad one.
and I don't shoot
That was a
FS5s.
That was a pretty.
'Cause
No, we
they're
don't shoot
fucking-
those. Fuck those cameras.
I don't like those cameras.
I don't
at
like
all.
them. I mean,
Nah.
Tyler had the FS7 for the Can-Am stuff, and you get some cool slow-mo shit out of it, but
Shout out Tyler.
I just don't like the. Yeah, Tyler, he's a homie. I just can't stand the ergonomics of it. I feel
They're
like
good
it's like,
for docu stuff.
Yeah,
and
I
like an
guess, I
all-around
guess.
shooter. But I mean, I don't know. I still like.
We don't
full-frame.
use them a lot.
I still like full frame Sony. Like
Yeah,
go through the pain.
I guess the
in ass.
ergonomics of that is actually more ass, but
I'd go through the pain in the
I
ass.
like-
of
I like
building
the
out
sensor
the
mo- I don't know.
A7s
I don't know. It's
for
weird.
the sensor size. But yeah, so that was my biggest fucking mistake on a big production.
That was a big one.
And we totally. The ironic thing is that was for a fucking movie, and we totally would have had clips. In
Oh, I got one.
in a theater.
I got one.
Oh, rip it.
That was bad, bro.
Oh, I
That
think
was
I
not that
might know
bad.
this.
The one in it was another cable cam
New
job.
York.
I was about to say it's a cable cam
New York.
job. Oh, I should have said it.
Yeah, it was in New York.
Basically,
It was in New York, and we were, oh my God, dude. I was flying over like Demi Lovato and like all these big people. Kanye West, like it was for Coach Fashion Show. Oh my God. Anyway, I don't know. I still to this day, I don't know if this is my fault or not. Anyway, I had an AC. I was on a lift. I was running it back and forth. Short run. I don't know, 150 feet. And the show wraps, and everyone's like, they immediately need the cards. Like it was like an urgent thing. And the AC runs over, and he's like, just take the card out and drop it. I'm on a lift.
No.
I'm on
Wait,
a lift.
what?
Yeah, the AC comes over and says, just take it out and drop it. I got to
Just
run it back.
drop it?
Yeah, just drop it
I've
to
never
him.
heard of this.
He's gonna catch
I've
it.
never
Yeah,
heard of
no.
this.
And so I take it out of the camera, but I'm not sure if I shut it off first or stopped recording first. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, see, it's the
Well,
record that kills you.
So I
It's the
think I
record.
didn't stop recording
That's
and I
what it
took it out,
was.
or I did stop recording and I dropped it. He didn't catch it. That motherfucker hit the ground. Went ka-tink, ka-tink, ka-tink.
but I mean, it's solid state technically.
Technically, you never know. Something could
But
shift.
you never know.
You never know. So I never blamed that on me. Technically, I was like, your AC told me to drop the memory card from a scissor lift. Anyway, I never saw the footage from that. Nobody ever said anything. So maybe they have it, maybe they don't. I don't know. But I never
Maybe
saw
they
it.
just recovered it or something. I don't know.
But that's why you always have a live broadcast and you're recording from the fucking broadcast, you know?
Yeah.
Or you just don't drop.
Or you don't
SSD.
drop the memory
they-
card
they had
or
that- they
rush
probably-
that
yeah,
process.
no, rush
don't
that
rush that
process.
process. Learn the lesson there.
Yeah.
Don't tell me what to fucking do. Let me do my job.
Yeah.
And when I'm finished with it, all my checks are done, I'll give you a goddamn memory card.
Especially when that memory card.
That's
is
a lesson I
everything.
learned, and I'm not going to do that again. Someone
Yeah.
tells me what to do, you're going to wait until I'm ready
So
to
I
give
can
you.
do this right. Yeah.
And
Exactly.
you take a picture. If you have to hand off a memory card too, here's a little piece of advice. If you're handing off a memory card to somebody, take a picture of them with the card.
100%.
Because then it never can come back on you like, oh, you never gave us the memory card. No, he picked it up right here. Here's the timestamp.
Oh,
of the
I
photo.
get super anal about that. I'm like,
Yeah.
who's taking that? Where did that card go? You know, like
Yeah.
it needs to, more than not, I'm going to have someone on my team go hand that over.
Yeah.
Because then I can blame us,
Yeah.
or at least that. If you have someone else, like Alex was saying, you give it to some random person, and you don't know where it's going. And sometimes this one guy was like the fucking water boy, and he like asked for the card. He's like, oh, the AC asked for it. I'm like, no. Tell his ass to come over to me. I'll give him the card.
Yeah.
It just, that gives
Yeah.
me heebie-jeebies, dude, because
Yep.
you fuck that up, they're going to blame it on you every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time.
And I think that's why it's so good that happened so early on in our careers, because it just ingrained fear into us about that.
Yeah.
And also like in the media business, like photography, video, your fucking paycheck is on that card. Like that is
Yeah.
what they're paying for,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
fucking weird because it's
Yeah.
not like a physical. Clips aren't physical items, but they live on a
Technically
physical
not.
item.
I know, it's weird.
And
That's what
like,
my mom always said, it's really hard what you do because you don't actually sell a physical item or product. No one gets to touch it, but I guess technically now they
it
kind
kind
of
of
do.
is.
Kind of now.
But yeah, no. So it's like cards and redundancies of backups, and
Yeah.
those are probably always going to be
Redundancies, dude.
everybody's biggest
redundancy.
learning lessons is redundancy and protecting the data.
Yes, protecting the data. Speaking of that, Las Vegas, what do we do on cable cams typically now, right? We're doing broadcast or not. What do we run? What do we run on the side of that sled? We run an Atomos.
An Atomos
and we
recorder,
run
yeah.
a recording the entire time.
A separate recording from
Separate
the actual
recording
camera.
from the actual
recording.
camera.
Yeah.
Because if that card fucks, you at least have an Atomos
Yeah.
to save your
Yep.
ass.
Yeah. And
So
also
that's what we
get-
do now. That's,
also get fucking good cards. Don't fucking
don't get cheap cards.
Don't cheap out on data. We were on a project not too long
Don't get
ago.
the Wish special.
And I got a
Damn, I did do that though.
That was your biggest mistake of whatever year that was.
I did buy like 40 of those fuckers.
But yeah.
Yeah,
Don't,
Kim's
don't
Knots.
get Kim's Knots
Kim's
off
Knots,
wish.com.
I messed that
and
up.
think they're SanDisk Extreme
They
Pros.
don't work.
They're not the same.
Have they worked on anything?
We
Not all-
haven't used them.
Not all
we
SD
haven't-
cards
no, we
are
I mean, we
Trust
threw them
them.
away, but dude, how much money? It was like $20, and it was like
Yeah, but like
it was like 128 gig cards. You're like, dude, this should have been like $500.
you told me how much data you got
Yeah.
for how much, and I was like,
Yeah,
nah,
no.
these are
Nah.
sus.
Well,
Yeah,
on the
that's
not
online,
Sam.
I didn't see it didn't say SanDisk, and then when we got it, and Chance was like Klimsnot or whatever the fuck.
No, I
it.
saw it. I was like, Kinsnot?
Oh, Kinsnot.
This is not. This is a knockoff.
Yeah, it's knocked.
But yeah, so
it was
don't-
knocked. I got knocked.
Don't cheap out on your data.
Don't go to Wish.
Back everything up. Cloud it up. Have like 2 redundant backups, if not 3, when you leave your sets.
Well, that's what we do with our clients. They get a drive, and we keep a drive.
Yeah.
Because you fuck that drive up, at least we have a backup. You know,
Yeah,
that's what we
and-
always do, no matter what. I don't care
a
what you're
minimum.
doing.
And there was
Okay,
like
what
3
you
or
did.
4 times in 2020 alone where
Oh,
those
easy.
backups came in handy. So
Yeah. Or like a
100%.
client comes back to you like 6 months or a year later,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Hey, so we
That's
don't
what I
have
meant.
that footage anymore." And
Right.
you're just like, "Oh, I still got it here." I'll
Yeah,
send it
yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly
That's
what
the
I
thing.
was
I
talking
think what we was talking about. Biggest mistake or learn. I guess
Biggest
lesson
mistake
learned
on
is
the big-
security
Security of your
Security.
of what you're filming and your footage.
and
I like that.
owning your position. You know,
Yeah.
don't let anyone else talk over what you're doing unless you don't have that kind of authority. But if you're running special operations like cable cams, you have the authority to say absolutely not
Yeah.
all the time.
Check your boxes.
You know, that's anything. What's another question? That was a pretty good answer.
Fire away.
Yeah, that was a good one. This one comes from Black House Cinema up in Alberta.
Oh, the new guys. I got the
Which-
moto crane.
By the way, congrats on your motor crane,
Yep,
guys.
that looks sick.
Congrats,
We
guys.
watched you guys snow
I appreciate
drift.
the wagon.
The wagon. And then we
We
watched
have
you guys
wagons.
take it out, and the first thing you shot was your friends drifting in the snow on the lake.
Yes, I think what got me though was you cooking
Respect.
barbecue in the back of when they were
the
cooking
camera guy.
barbecue,
Yeah.
dude. That got me. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
these guys know how
So,
this is supposed to
yeah.
run.
So these guys have a very smart question to other Ultra owners.
Uh-oh.
And they said, what's the worst thing that has happened on set with your Ultra arm?
Oh, I immediately know.
What? Both of you already know?
I'm curious. I have one
Uh-oh.
to default, but it's not on set per se. It's
well, I guess it's
before
just using
set.
it. It doesn't matter.
It's
just
using
using
it?
it because we use it a lot.
Yeah.
You know, training wise. But so what the fuck?
Yeah, what's yours? I'm curious.
Okay, wait a
Uh,
minute.
well,
Does it
it's just-
pertain to any? Okay, let's just say this. It pertains to any use of the Moto Crane Ultra, hard mounted or not.
It's more of the situation that it could be put in because of the motor crane.
Okay, so what does it go?
The ground limits on the motor crane. Watching your ground limits.
Oh, where we smashed an
Oh
Alexa
yeah,
body.
that's
Or I
fucking. That's
did.
true. I didn't even think about that one. I was.
Wait a
like,
minute. Have we talked about that on a podcast yet?
No.
Oh, here we go. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so I guess that's a perfect entryway into that conversation, I guess. But
Well,
yeah.
okay,
Watching
yeah.
your
So
ground
that's
limits, like
that-
yeah, you set your
watch your ground limits.
Watch your ground limits. Like yeah, you set those at the beginning, but like
Even-
obviously any arm op should know that.
But-
that changes when you have
Yes,
bumps.
elevation change,
Terrain.
or if the car shifts, and that's why they came with the INS, and it's technically supposed to fix it, but we haven't had our hands on it, and I can't say that it works or not. So,
Yeah.
But yes, that is a very good point. Ground clearance, because I'm upping the arm majority of the time. Brandon has as well on jobs, but people get very trustworthy with
Limits.
limits. Like the cable cam has, it stops, but digital stuff like that, and when you put it through its paces, it tends to go past or whatnot. Like
Or
it-
over time, it will have
over time
a
it
little
will
bit of a
adjustment.
adjustment in the
And you got to
limit.
be aware of that. And people get too trustworthy with it, and they're like throwing it around and doing this, and like, oh, it's going to stop every time. Like, you need to understand that technology is not like bulletproof at all, like to any degree. So anyway, we were shooting 2 simple trucks on the highway.
And we
and-
like to run our camera really fucking low.
We do really low,
because it looks really fucking
really low,
good.
really low.
Yeah, it looks sick.
Yeah, because it looks fast. And we do it for the trucks because they're big and we make them look like they're going way faster than not, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, we were on the highway. We were doing swings with the arm. And I was like, dude, I want to do this one shot. We were kind of back of the trailer, the 18-wheeler. And I was like, I want to go under it and then come out. So I go under it, swing it right. I'm watching it the whole time. I have my eyes on it. I don't, I look at where the position is on the arm, but I'm literally watching it the entire time, no matter what. But I go under and then I come back out, and I don't know what happened. I might have been just looking at the image and the shot what we were doing. because we were pulling out underneath the trailer. And then as we go, the car goes punk dunk.
Yeah, we went into a dip.
A drainage.
Speed at
A drainage.
We were going like 55.
No, we're going highway speed. Yeah, highway speed.
55, 65.
Yeah,
and you on this dip, and it just happens real quick. And at the end of the dip,
it was just a slow dip. It wasn't even like a jolt. It wasn't like dong dong. It was just like a whoop, whoop, just nice and easy. But the roll of the car, I was at my lowest point, which I don't know, -12 probably on the Land Rover, and it hit the P-taps on the bottom of the Ronin. And then the motors gave out because it got overdrive. So those kind of failed, and then it swung backwards. Thank God, because we had
not only did it hit the
stupid
P-taps,
expensive lens on the front. Yeah,
One
hit the
of
P-taps.
fucking 5 lenses or whatever.
There was like one of 5 lenses, so thank God it swung backwards because the wind pushed it back. If it didn't, it would have been the other direction.
Yeah.
Like if I was, whatever. But that would have been horrible. That would oh God. But it swung back, and then the body of the Alexa Mini was exposed, and it just went on the concrete, took the
back left,
back left corner.
The back left corner.
Yeah, but to the degree where there was like a few centimeters of a hole in the body.
Yeah, it wasn't for how scary.
But the client saw it. The client saw the monitor go into the picture go, and we're like, oh, that's fine. It's normal.
Oh, yeah.
It's normal. Everything's fine. Everybody, it's okay. It's just resetting.
When you see it in frame and you've seen that happen before, you know exactly what happens.
Yeah.
And when you're really low, you're like, ooh, that's good.
The DP and the director kind of laughed. They were like, well, because we were doing cool shit.
But we didn't lose the lens.
Yeah, no, we
didn't lose the lens. Thank God. The insurance on the body. Oh, that's another thing. Get insurance. Okay, don't fuck around with that shit.
Which we did. We've always had insurance.
100% always. But I'm just saying, someone
Yeah.
lessons learned.
You hate
Thank God we had insurance.
You hate paying your monthly premiums on insurance.
Yeah, you always
until
bitch
you
about
fucking need it
until you spend $6,000 on a carbon body.
But you don't spend $6,000.
Yeah.
But you don't spend $6,000 fixing it. Like that's why you have insurance.
No, totally.
But also, that
was funny.
I think that's one of the biggest barriers to entry for a lot of people is when productions ask for COIs and stuff. But worth it.
Oh yeah,
I know your answer, Alex.
Oh, what's the answer?
What you were thinking.
Okay, you guess it, and then he'll go.
Does it have to do with weights?
Yes.
Yep.
Mine's a good one with weights.
Yeah, you can say
you guys are gonna get. You guys lucked out on this one. You're gonna get 2 fucking lessons from us. So. Next time we're up in Canada, though, we're gonna get together and we're.
I want some hamburgers and beers off the back of that car.
We're going drifting and shooting, and maybe we'll have our motor crane with us. Too.
Yeah, we'll get dual swing them.
I have some few potential clients that are gonna be.
Yeah, we'll bring out shifts. We'll have 3 of them.
Oh, dude,
he wants to do it too.
We'll just be
we'll just go ham.
Motor crane threesome.
Shift.
Yeah, Shift is legit, guys.
Mine is for you guys is going to be we travel a lot for work, and then
we use the motor crane. So a lot of people don't use the motor crane as it's intended to, right?
Yeah.
Hard mounted, they leave it alone, stays on the car.
Yeah.
We like to put our shit wherever. Example A on a Lamborghini because why not? Because it can.
But
so we travel a lot with it.
We did our first fly travel with it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we did. Actually.
So put it on a rental car and all that jazz. But
air cargo.
As we're parking,
winning,
or as we're packing for to fly out, we're talking about oh, should we bring the plate weights? Because it's when you think about it, it's 200 to 300 pounds.
Did we think about it?
Yeah, well, we did.
Okay.
I remember adamantly.
Yeah,
we're
guess this was
it's 200, 300 pounds. Do we want to pay to fly with this?
Because that's an extra $600.
Yeah, we'll just go to Dick's. We'll go to Dick's and just pick up some plate weights. And we're flying to Texas. So we get in town, get all the gear there and stuff, and we're like, all right, time to go find our weights for the motor crane. Because we
were dead because we had just finished the Mitsubishi job, right?
No.
Oh shit, was it before?
Mitsubishi, we were dead.
Why are we tired? We were dead ass tired.
Well, you guys had done Bronco,
and we did.
Oh, that's right.
We had done Too Simple.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And then
we
met up.
That's
and
right.
Did Peterbilt.
So we were dead. We were all tired.
So we're we're in Texas. We drive up to where we're going to be shooting. We run to Dick's to go pick up some plate weights. Our dumbasses forgot that there's a fucking pandemic going on.
And everybody's working at home.
Anything related to gym equipment has been sold out everywhere.
Well, not only that, but I even called one of the Dicks, and the guy answering, he's like, plate weights?
Yes.
Oh, we don't got none of those.
We got none of those around here.
And I'm like,
no, but I was sleeping in and out because I was so tired. So I would hear conversations periodically, but every time I woke up, it was like, no. Everyone was saying no.
We hit the first Dick's and walk in, and then I see the weight rack, and I'm like, oh, dude, we're fucked.
I forgot about
And then we call every Dick's in the Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas area to try and find plate weights. And we're getting responses no. We're getting
we called a lot of Dick's.
Those are good as gold. We were really looking for Dick's and plate weights. but so we call probably.
Well, no, then we stopped calling Dick's.
And then we start calling like
local places.
Used local places. And we probably called like 15 places. And thankfully, we finally found
one
a guy that had just restocked his weights.
He was
like,
hoarding them.
He's like, oh yeah, I got all these. I just pulled them from my warehouse the other day. And we fucking are like, we'll see you in 25 minutes.
Yeah, and we bolt
down over there.
Bought them all.
Bought all the fucking plate weights that we needed for the moto crane. So we saved the day.
He even told us
they're
that
Olympic
at his
size.
warehouse. He was like, I'm going to take these into the shop because when people order these, they don't want to wait for them.
Yeah.
They
Right.
want them now.
They want them now.
Yeah.
We
And I was
needed
like,
them now.
damn straight, we
we
needed
needed
them
them
now.
that morning.
So shout out to that guy for saving our asses. But
I don't remember the store name, but
weights
Shout out.
are one of the biggest. I mean, there's been times where
it is annoying.
we leave for a shoot and we've either forgotten weights or we have to, or we're like a block away from the office. We have to turn around and get weights.
The amount of
Or
weights
like-
we have in the office, we could start a gym right now.
Well, between the jib
yeah.
and the motor crane,
Oh, true. But
like
we have
the
a lot of
jib,
weights.
It's like 500 to 600 pounds on the jib.
Yeah, we have a lot of weights in here. And then the ones we just bought, we brought them back.
Yeah. And FYI for all you guys out there that are like doing the buy shipping thing, it costs as much to buy the weights as it does to fly and ship the weights. So you're basically
Yes.
buying the fucking weights every
Twice.
time you fly.
Right. So what are you
sucks.
saying? Should you redneck rental them?
Well,
You
not
can't
right
'cause there's
now.
nothing there.
Not right now. If they're available, sure. Redneck rental them, which
Right.
is buy them, use them, return them,
Correct.
which is a good old film technique. But
Or life technique.
as of right now, I'd say don't risk it. It depends on where you're going, but like we couldn't even get them in Dallas. So it's like you should just bring, if you're a
Yeah.
motor crane user and you want to fly with your thing, you should bring your weights with you.
You think?
Just
Yeah, just do it.
you can't
Get a case that's
One
made
less thing
from.
to do when you're on location.
Well, and this industry is all about reducing variables of shit out of your control. And like that was something that was out of our control that we like
could have
was
been
to-
in our control.
totally could have fucked us,
Yeah.
but like could have been in our control. And we made the conscious decision when we were leaving, like, nah, it'll be fine. We'll just
Yeah.
go buy them.
Yeah,
By the
yeah.
way,
What?
we didn't even ship them in a case. We just ratchet
No,
strapped
we
them to
ratchet
the
strapped them
loops.
together. It was so bad.
I mean,
They're
it
like,
worked.
this is it? You guys are just shipping weights?
It
Yeah,
worked.
It's like ratchet strapped
They
together.
laughed at us so
They
much.
did.
And then I showed them the photo of what it's for. And they're like, oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah. They were Olympic style. Because the
We should
motor
just
cranes
tell them
take
we're
standard, so it
Olympians.
doesn't matter though. You just
Next
gotta
time.
cinch them on.
Cinch them down and
This is my
we added a
training
safety
equipment.
strap. So
Yeah.
We'll just tell them we're Olympians next time.
Yeah, I think so. It's a good idea.
yeah.
We're Olympians.
Yeah, no, I don't. That was pretty crazy. I guess bringing weights is a good idea.
So now that we've all like self-incriminated ourselves about all our fuck ups.
Yeah, we did.
For
We did just tattletale on ourselves.
But that was literally the point of this podcast is because like a lot of people
It's no
aren't-
bullshit.
a lot of people aren't
fuck
willing
up.
to admit that they fuck up or they've made mistakes.
up.
And hopefully you guys that listen to us, there's a lot of you guys that are, oh my God, I'm so appreciative of you, like avid listeners, even though we barely put out podcasts this last year.
I'm sorry.
But it's so awesome to hear from you guys saying that you listen to it or you appreciate
It's
it
really cool.
in the story and stuff. That's kind of why we start out, is to just give tips and tricks and an inside look for the people that are interested in us.
Yeah.
And hopefully people will recognize and assimilate with us and we can grow this podcast. But appreciate you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Huge thanks.
Love sharing stories like that with you guys. That's something we always want to keep doing, is not holding back on the reality that is
Unless I have a contract signed.
this
then I can't.
industry. Yeah. Unless we're under contract and we're going to
Yeah.
get sued by somebody,
no.
we'll try and tell you as close to reality as
Well,
possible.
here's the deal. Mistakes is the only thing that's the only way you're gonna learn.
Yeah.
The only way you're gonna soundly learn. You know what I mean?
And better.
Unless you're like me and you do it right the first time every time.
Damn.
oh, fuck.
I'm just joking.
and better for us to fuck up and tell you guys so you can be more focused on it. But I'm sure you will probably make similar or the same mistakes down the road. And that's how you learn. So,
Oh, here's a fuck up that Colby made. Touching two leads of the
Just
lipo
throw him
battery.
under the bus.
oh yeah, you almost lit us all on fire.
Yeah, don't
Oh, the
fuck
lipo.
around with lipos. Colby over here done ripped them out of the charger and they touched the leads and went. Colby goes, I don't know what happened. Yeah, he
They
goes, I don't know.
tried
what
They
to-
happened.
almost bzzz him.
They tried to weld themselves together.
They did. So Colby's not allowed to touch batteries anymore. So that's a lesson learned this year.
That would have been a bad day.
Just throw Colby under the bus.
So we have
That would
one
have been
more
a bat day.
one more question, and then I think we can just go back into one more thing. Hey, you guys did good on these questions.
Yeah,
We got
we're kind of sloppy on this podcast, but we're getting back into the groove of things. You
Yeah.
gotta give us some time here.
Give us a
Next one
damn
we get-
break.
And
Yeah,
you guys
Jesus.
were all like, you gave us like five questions.
Honestly, that's awesome.
That's awesome. That's the most.
Hey, we hit
questions we've had
8,000
so far. So
People finally.
this last one comes from
Okay, all right. I'll just celebrate on my own.
We did hit 8,000. And we've hung there ever since we hit it because Instagram.
Thank you.
Yay.
Everybody, thank you.
Oh,
On our way to 10K. Let's go.
Yeah.
on the road to swipe up.
For real. Fuck, that would make so much.
It would, dude,
it'd
every
be so good.
stories, websites. So this last question comes from atfilms.co. And they said, how did you first get started? First paid job, first big client, first camera setup. Which tells me they
go back
haven't-
to the first.
Go back,
yes,
go
the
back
first
to our
podcast.
first episode of the podcast.
Yes, that one will kind of get you into how we got here.
Yeah.
What was the other question?
It's also our first big client.
Which one? The first podcast?
No,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally.
And
Okay.
First camera and setup and all that.
So go to the
jazz.
first episode. That's
Yeah.
answer your first part of your question. What's the second part of your question?
First big client. First.
Okay,
camera
that's
setup.
two. First
They're
two.
all in that first podcast.
What's the third one?
That's all.
I thought there was a camera or something.
Yeah, your first camera setup.
I mean, we could rip that one out. That was,
Yeah.
I mean,
about that.
our first
Yeah.
like video camera setup that we ripped around and
If you
made
want to
money
hear
with Sony
yeah. If you,
A7S2.
Oh yeah, the Sony. We
no,
still have
not
the
even
Sonys.
for me. I'm different though.
Let's hear it. Oh, the R.
I'm different.
Oh, you were using Canon.
No,
before you were Sony.
I was Canon 5D.
Are you talking about first? Wait,
No,
wait,
no,
what are
we're
you
not.
talking
I
about
thought you
right
were
now?
talking about first camera for like
Jesus,
Oh.
we were going back to the
for
Stone
like
Age.
what we do.
Yeah,
Are you talking about,
I
like-
interpret it as like your first
What does it say? First camera build.
first paid job, first big client, first camera setup.
Oh.
I would
Well,
say for me it'd be a
Oh, then
Canon.
for me it is
5D.
Canon.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Well,
No,
my very
we did
first
Sony
camera.
when we did ASC. That's first paid stuff.
Oh, see, we're on a different page then. He's
We're
on
all
like
on different
he's on
pages.
OG story like
Yeah.
root stuff.
What are we talking about?
well,
Root
what was your
stuff?
very first camera
I think-
like in like middle school or?
I think the
high
root
Oh,
school?
stuff.
Jesus.
The root
That's what
stuff's
he's
more-
talking about.
Oh, you're going way back.
I was
Oh.
talking about like
Oh, I'm talking like
like
professional.
Reelbros and like what we've
Yeah.
our first setup for this company.
Oh, we're
like what we
going-
shot
yeah.
with.
We're going to root stuff.
I thought that's
No, that's what you
talking
were
about.
doing. See, this is very confusing.
Wow.
So let's just say our first camera build, year one of Reelbros.
Okay,
Okay, so what is it? I don't know.
it's Sony A7S.
Yeah, we always do
well,
Sony's.
S2, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
S2s.
S2.
But we kit them out, dude. Kits.
But so we
Oh
had-
yeah, we still use them. We're fucking buying 2 more of them.
yeah.
S3s, yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. So full
Sick.
frame,
Real
full
sick.
frame, externally recorded.
It's like the Sony
Atomos.
sensors are nice.
And then we use a big ass V mount or gold mount
We
battery.
were using
on
a
them.
zine too at the time.
Zines are nice.
Yeah, a like mix match set of zines.
Oh, that's right,
Like an
zines.
85, a 50, and then
Yeah.
a 24 Canon Cine lens,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then a
We ripped out
Tokina
a few
28
projects with
to
those.
35 or
sick.
something zoom.
That's how we got Peterbilt.
And
Yeah,
either a
seriously.
movie or an MX at the time.
Yep.
One of those two.
And they weren't ours.
Which the irony
Oh,
is,
the MX.
MX was ours.
Yeah.
which the irony is now that I go
Well,
back,
we used the 55
55 mil.
Prime 55.
Oh, that thing is sharp.
That thing we used that on interviews a lot.
Yeah.
And in fact, when we went to Samoa, that
We
was
love
that
interviews.
was the 16 to 35
Yeah.
and the 55 were the
Yeah.
lenses we used for that.
I love interviews.
for the size of those lenses, those are crazy.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
Zeisses.
true.
The Zeisses are sick.
I actually watched
they are.
our old music videos, and I
Oh,
want to
God,
shoot
makes me
something.
barf,
No,
man.
I want to shoot something on the zines again because I think they have a lot of character that the Sigmas.
The Sigmas are very
Black.
sterile.
Yeah, the Sigmas
why
are
we
a
bought
little
'em.
sterile.
Clinical
Yeah.
But like the Shrubhead music video I was watching,
Yeah,
I was
sick.
like, the zines are fucking.
zines are
They had
yeah.
a vibe.
That's
So I think
sick.
our next music video we shoot will probably be on zines.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we're not gonna have a big budget.
They came out
for,
the new
like,
ones.
Cooks
I
or
wonder what
anything.
those look like.
The CF, it's the same glass, just smaller housing. It's
really?
built for gimbals and drones, and
It looks better. I mean, like
they're
the housing
lighter.
looks better.
They're lighter, so it's just smaller housing. The
all black
elements
and red.
inside of them are still
So
the
it's
same.
it's meant to compete with the Sigmas.
Ooh.
That set is what you're
Technically, yes, right?
yeah,
It's a cheaper
it's
version
just
of them.
easier to fit on a drone. And
How much cheap? They're half the price of the Sigma set. No,
saying? I wouldn't doubt it.
yeah, they are.
less than half.
I think.
How
they're
many
about
lenses do you get in the set?
12.
No, it depends what set
5
you
or
buy.
6?
Depends what set you buy.
So 12. Jesus Christ. 6.
I don't know. The zines are a nice option for
Yeah,
character.
cool.
For character, the zines have way more character than Sigmas.
Yeah, I'm not talking shit. That's the first good If you're going to send a PL scene,
Yeah,
it's a good start.
No, I love the zines.
I mean, you're not going to spend 30 grand on 35 grand on a Sigma set.
or whatever it is.
How much
yeah.
was it? 27?
25.
Oh, that was a 10 grand over.
They're
sorry.
good. They're good lenses. though.
You're still not going to spend that.
Thank God we got that B&H no tax before they ripped that out of our hands.
Yeah, we hit
But yeah.
that on the head on that one. B&H, what the fuck, dude?
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
And now we're getting taxed out the ass.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah.
what was the question again?
First camera,
Oh yeah, good episode
and
one.
then we just fell down the
camera.
fucking
Yeah,
rabbit
camera
hole.
for sure. Sony's
Yeah. No, I
kitted
think
out with audio. You know, you got P taps. You try to make you user-friendly camera into a cinema package.
Honestly, it doesn't. I'm going to sound so fucking
doesn't need to be
hypocritical.
battery
The
power,
trick is
honestly.
just get a gold mount. A lot of people
Yeah, no
think
shit.
you're running a red.
Yeah, for
there
real.
you go.
It's power. The batteries on the Sony suck. So power.
It also doesn't really. When it comes down to it, doesn't matter what fucking camera you use.
No, it's how
'cause,
you
like
use
it's your
it.
story
True.
and how you use it. But like one thing,
But some cameras really suck.
one
so.
thing that we've always been very adamant about using is full frame when we can.
Love full
And
frame.
I think
Yes.
full frame just has a good look. Like even when we shot like Memory Broker and stuff, that was like full frame.
It was, right when the
cinema
Sonys came
glass
out.
and Sonys and
Yep.
people came up to us after the project and they're
Guys shot
like,
on
"You
red."
guys shot on red," and
Yeah,
you're like, "No, we shot on a Sony A7
with
S2
cinema
with
glass.
a Zine glass." So
Yeah.
like the glass you shoot with is almost more important than the camera you shoot with.
Yeah.
Oh,
Full
that's
frame-
that's a definite.
Full frame is always like your best option though,
Oh, yeah.
in my opinion, because
Well,
you
the
just get
Anjana's
that really nice shallow
Are nice as shit too.
look. Yeah.
Those
But,
are
like,
expensive though.
So glass and vintage photo lenses and so like
Glass is always an investment.
Spend
We've
all
said
your
that on
money.
another podcast. Probably
spend
the
all
first
your money
podcast.
on glass.
Well,
I've
it'll
gone
last
down
forever.
that rabbit hole.
They'll last forever if you take care of them, and you can resell them for. I mean,
Yeah,
they
holds all
don't
its
drop.
value.
They don't really drop.
Yeah.
Unless, if you keep them nice and clean, they don't drop.
Yeah, I've got
Cameras, fuck. See you later, dude.
Yeah, that technology changes, but like people are still shooting Lomos.
Except
and
those
Cokes
S3s.
and-
Ooh, let's go. Still getting
No, I'm saying
People-
like price drop.
People,
Oh, yeah, no.
people literally rehouse glass from like the 30s to still use it today.
Yeah, there was totally they do,
Yeah,
and I like it. Some of it's a bit aggressive in the sense like there's like a 2x2 square that's in focus or whatever.
yeah.
It's like the smallest point. It's like up to the top right of the the frame.
You gotta
You're
buy
like,
good
what the fuck?
lenses. I got my eyes eventually on a set of Lomo anamorphic square fronts, so that's
Oh,
Cool.
basically
do you?
like buying a car.
Cool.
Oh,
Cool,
I
dude.
think it'll be worth it.
great.
We'll see. I'm on eBay.
We're
like,
gonna
every
use
day.
them.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Oh,
We're gonna shoot everything on them. We'll just be only anamorphic moving forward.
Do we have to rent them from you?
Yeah. I got to pay for that car payment somehow, dude.
hey, wait a minute. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, pro tip: just look for deals at the end of the month because people have to pay their bills and they'll sell.
True.
Cameras,
Well, we got a lot of good
lenses.
deals during COVID because everyone was having to dump everything.
Yeah,
True.
Yeah.
one man's downfall is another man's come up.
Oh, wow. It feels a lot fuller
Wow.
in here.
Yeah, isn't it great now? There's a lot more people here. Where these assholes come from?
In front of a live studio,
This was the only funny thing we said all night.
probably. Working our way back into this.
Yeah, we got to get back to this podcast
Yeah.
here because we're not doing so hotty.
Well, I think what we're
Kind of
gonna-
rusty.
Hotty
We've
toddy.
got a pretty insane guest list that we want to bring
Yeah,
on
we
here.
do. It's fucking COVID.
I
guess we'll start doing shitty audio.
We'll just we'll figure out a way to do
Oh,
good
no.
audio over.
We're gonna do
Zoom.
the Apple,
FaceTime.
yeah, or FaceTime audio.
They have to
or whatever
record
it is.
good audio on there.
Well, no, because it's digital. I think the issue is the cell phone signal coming in here. But I think if you use the Wi-Fi stuff through, Apple, that sends a higher quality sound
Well,
through the airwaves,
We'll make it happen.
through the 5Gs now. Cover your nuts, people. 5Gs out there.
I got 5G in my pocket every day. Oops.
Yeah, same.
One way or another, we'll make it happen, and we'll bring more guests.
Yeah.
And you guys asked us a lot of good questions tonight, so
We want
try
more of
and-
those, honestly. Those
We want
good.
more of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, should just do like a segment every time we rip some questions.
Hey, we're putting a lot of content out there. Sure, we like doing it, but we do it for you guys because,
Yeah.
like we like the interaction of people. We're not fucking robots.
Yeah, and I think moving forward, we want to start like maybe adding some video aspects to the podcast,
Yeah.
filming it,
Yeah.
and that way you can see us interacting with the guests and
Right.
see what we look like,
They don't give a fuck what we look
as
like.
ugly as we are.
Oh my god. Wait, they're
but
talking
yeah,
to yourself.
no, we're
dude.
gonna-
I'm just kidding.
We're gonna try and make more content this year for you guys, BTS side of things
Yeah.
and the podcast.
Well, let us know what you want to see more.
Yeah.
Like something specific. Don't just be like BTS. Well, what in BTS? You want us to talk about something more specific and, like
Speak your mind.
speak your mind. Tell us what you want. Fuck it, we're going live.
Not yet. We're
Oh.
not ready for that.
Okay, fine.
Not ready for live yet.
The
More
world-
more
no, no, no.
Instagram live.
More specifically,
The world is not ready for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, I guess we'll just wrap this one up since we really don't have too much to talk about. We didn't really come up with a topic. It was kind of just getting back into the groove. Maybe this is just welcome back.
Well, we were nowhere without the questions, so thank you guys.
Yeah, we were really nowhere without the questions.
But yeah, we're jumping back into it.
We're gonna get it.
We got a bunch of
We're
cool
gonna rock it
projects
next one.
coming up here.
We do. Going to one tomorrow.
Lots of fun. The boys are out with the camera car tomorrow, so maybe something will happen we can talk about.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
We'll see. Well, see you fuckers next time.